Hey guys, in this video we are going to learn how to write the letter Jim in 4 positions, in its separate form, in the beginning of a word, in the middle of a word, and at the end of a word. So here you can see the letter Jim in 4 different positions. The first one is the letter Jim in its separate form, the second in the beginning of a word, the third in the middle of a word, and lastly the letter Jim at the end of a word. To draw the letter Jim in its separate form, this is the pathway of drawing it. So you draw the first shape above the ground line, and then you draw a hook under it, under the ground line, and then you put the dot. Okay, so the first shape is above the ground line, and then you draw a hook like that, like this. Okay, so the letter Jim in the beginning of the word is drawn like this. So this is the pathway. You draw this shape on the ground line, and then you go to the left. Okay, and then you put the dot like that. Okay, and this letter can be connected to any letter that comes after it. Just like the word Jang, you have the letter J, Ne, and Ge, and together they make the word Jang. Jang. Sorry for the bad handwriting here. Now the letter Jim in the middle of a word, it can have 2 shapes. One is that in the first shape that can be connected to the letter that comes in its right side and to its left side. Okay, so as you can see here, we have this small line which indicates that it can be connected to the letter that comes before it in its right side, just like the word Pancere. As you can see, I draw the letter Jim with the red color, and you can see that the letter J here is connected to the letter in its right side, which is the letter Ne, and in its left side, which is the letter Re. Okay, Pancere, Pancere, the word for window. Also in this word Tecrübe, Tecrübe, which means experience, you can see here the letter Jim is connected to the letter in its right side, which is the letter T, and to the letter in its left side. Not this one, this is just a vowel, but this letter, the letter Re, Tecrübe. But in the last word, the letter J has the same shape as it has in the beginning of a word. You can see that we don't have this small line here anymore, because sometimes you have one of those 7 letters that I explained in the previous video, like the letters Alif, Dal, Zal, Re, Ze, Je, and Vav. These 7 letters cannot be connected to any letter that come after them. Okay, so here we have the letter V, which is one of these 7 letters, and that's why the letter V cannot be connected to the letter J that comes after it. That's why in this case, if we have any of these 7 letters that comes before the letter J, then we cannot connect it. We use this shape of the letter J. Okay, so that's why the letter J is connected to the letter D that comes after it, but not to the letter V that comes before it. Done. The word for conscience. And lastly, we have the letter J at the end of a word, and again it can also have 2 shapes. So the first shape here, it has this small line, so it can be connected to the letter in its right side, but sometimes we have those 7 letters that come before the letter jim. That's why in that case we use this shape, which is the separate form. Okay, we have the word ranj here, for example. Ranj means pain or suffer. You can see that the letter jim is connected to the letter ne here. That's why we used this shape, ranj. But here the word taj, which is the word for crown. In this case, we have the letter aleph that comes before the letter j. So aleph is one of those 7 letters here, and that's why they cannot be connected to each other, because the letter j comes after the letter aleph. So that's why we use the separate form of the letter j or jim.